AX offers many documents that you can apply when you work with a purchase order. When you generate a document for a purchase order, AX updates the order according to the stage it has reached in the order cycle. In this lesson, I'll discuss the generation of two documents, the receipts list and the product receipt. I will be demonstrating this directly from the purchase order screen. Business processes often process receipts in the warehouse without working directly on the purchase order form. This process is discussed in more detail in the warehouse management courseware. Let's get started with the receipts list. Generating a receipts list from a purchase order does not change the status of a purchase order or create any inventory transactions. It only provides a means for checking and validating shipments before accepting them. The use of this function is determined by a business need and might not be a required process. Let's switch over to AX and I'll show you how to generate a purchase receipts list. I'm in the purchase order form and I've selected the purchase order that we just created. On the Receive tab of the action pane, I'm going to click the Receipts List button in the Generate group. This opens a form that's similar to the confirmation. I'm going to mark the Print Receipts List checkbox and generate a receipts list to my screen. I'll click the printer setup and select Receipts List to verify that it's going to print to my screen. Here you can see it's printing to my screen. However, if you wanted to print this to a printer or file, you could choose those options as well. I'll click OK. And then I'll click OK again to complete the posting receipts list process. Here you can see the details of the receipts list. Each item is detailed out with the description, the quantity, the unit of measure, expected delivery dates, and we can use the in-stock column for a worker to manually write in how many are currently in stock. This is obviously an optional process. We'll close the window and talk about product receipts next. The next step in updating purchase orders is to receive the items or services and then enter the receipts list into the system. This creates physical inventory transaction and makes the items available if they are stocked products. For stocked and not stocked products, if the Post to General Ledger parameter in the Accounts Payable Parameters form is selected, the product receipt will update the subledger. You record this transaction in the system by generating the product receipt. If all items on a given purchase order are received, the purchase order status field changes to received. Let's switch back over into AX and take a look at generating a product receipt. I'm here on the purchase order screen again on the Receive tab, and right next to the Receipts List button, you'll notice the Product Receipt button. This will open up a new screen. I'm receiving the warning that the vendor's not authorized. You'll notice it has the same look and feel as the confirmation and receipt list screens. The primary difference is that a product receipt number is required. This is typically a number that's recorded on the packing slip document that you receive from the vendor. This is used by the accounting department later when they're performing a three-way match with the invoice. Typically, product receipts are not printed, but if you wanted to print a product receipt, you can mark the checkbox and use the printer setup button to determine where you want them to be printed. Additional options are available for sales documents, shelf labels, and product labels to be printed as well, depending on the type of order. I'm going to click OK to finish the confirmation of posting this product receipt. In this case, the product receipt failed because a location is not specified on one of the lines of the order. I'm going to close this message and show you another purchase order that's already received. You can tell this order is received because the status is set to received. When a purchase order is received and you go to the Receive tab in the Action pane, you'll notice that the buttons in the Generate group are disabled. However, in the Journals group of the action pane, there's a button called Product Receipt, which allows you to view the product receipt that's already been posted. In some cases, if a mistake is made, you might need to reprint this or make a correction or cancel the product receipt. To reprint or view the details, you can use the Preview Print button and print a copy or the original. Or over on the right, you can use the Correct button to make a correction or completely cancel the packing slip, which will reverse any accounting entries. In the case that a product receipt is posted to the general ledger, you can use the Vouchers button to view the voucher in the general ledger for that particular product receipt and see which accounts have been debited and credited, and by what amount. Additionally, you can use the subledger journal entries to view the subledger entries that were created in the purchasing subledger. Now that we have received our purchase order, let's move on to the change management process for purchase orders.